Well, how many people have you seen selling you stuff that talk about love? And I don't mean, oh, you're going to love this product or this car you're going to love when you buy it. No, I'm talking about real love. I mean, and even how do you find out if you really love somebody? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm an old guy now, and it took me a long time to realize that, gosh, finding a mate and working on a relationship and everything like that takes as much work as starting a business. They're very complicated. And this is actually, it's a crowdfunding game that he has. It's called Play the Love Game. And it sounds like superficial and stuff like that, but it's a way for two people to start talking about the real stuff in their life. I mean, I found, when I was younger, I got married a couple times, and I don't even know what the reasons were. And later on, I found, gosh, you have to have something bigger than you to work on with your significant other, or something that you both live for is almost the same thing, and it's so hard to find. Maybe it's a Jets games that you want to attend, but there has to be bigger things in life, and to find that out with somebody else, I mean, that, at least for me, was a real hard part of just finding a great relationship. And how do you dig down in yourself and the other person? Well, this guy created a game to do that. And it's wonderful. I mean, it costs nothing. Actually, you could do it for free on the web at playthelovegame.com. But he's a delightful fellow, and he's also a marketing guy and everything, but sensitive to this kind of issue. And it's questions to ask each other that dig down about what the other person really has in mind in life, and what kind of life they see, and what are their values in life. And I think that's it. I mean, anything you do in life, whether it's a relationship or a business or a job, is work, man. And it takes a lot of work. It's not easy out there. So if you have something bigger, like in a job, if you really love being there, you'll go through all the problems you have. So same way in a relationship. For a relationship, you have something bigger that you want to stay together for, and you have something in common, you get through all this stuff. Because otherwise, it's going to be one of you guys are going to squeeze the toothpaste in the middle. The other person's going to hate it, and you're going to bolt out together. So how do you find out that you have something bigger together? And this is it sounds like a silly little game to find out, but it can't hurt. Watch. Well, Anthony David Adams, who cares about that, because you are the love guru or whatever. But actually, playthelovegame.com. You have this game. It's a card game, but it's an online game. It's everything. But to me, I mean, I've interviewed hundreds of people now on crowdfunding and stuff like that. But this, I mean, this is not just, superfluous love stuff. People don't realize how important love is in their life. I mean, I think that's why we work so hard, is we want to be loved more, And so you finally, instead of showing me how to make money or something, so maybe I'll get more love, you're the only guy I've seen, at least in crowdfunding, show me how to get more love without getting more crap in my life or more anything else in my life, and just pure love, because you're a coach, you're a PR guy, you're a marketing expert and everything, but really you're just a guy with a heart trying to help other people with their heart.
Thanks for seeing that.
But it's true, because I mean, what could be more important in life than loving somebody else? I mean, and people don't say that to each other. I mean, I grew up in a family, Eastern European thing. I mean, I think my dad died and never said "I love you," and now there's no reason to live that way, and the people in your life, I mean, what, and to me, what's nice about this, it's not that super, I love fishing, or I love a little puppy. No, I mean, that's why your card and the questions you ask each other is digging down in the core of people so they can throw their heart on the table, right? But you'll say it better than me. Where did it come from?
It's beautiful. You know, the Love Game was inspired by a guy named Arthur Aaron, who did some research 20 or so years ago, where he was experimenting with how to create rapid intimacy. And over the course of that research, he like couples that were or just random experiment, the people getting experiment on the subjects. 6 months later, they were getting married. People falling in love and getting married as a result of that. And a New York Times article came out that was kind of talking about this. And when I read the article, I thought, man, you know, this idea that falling in love and doing whatever it takes to stay there is the surest path to self-actualization. That's kind of my mantra that I live by and the work that I do with my coaching clients. But I thought so many people just aren't falling in love. Yeah. You know, it's like for the ones that are in love, there's really something to work with there if they really want to do. But a lot of them are just not falling in love. And so I thought, and that's actually that's a fairly easy part of the relationship. The falling in love part should be like just easy. So the game, Love Game, I thought, man, this is just what a great tool for us to kind of have in the collective species toolkit, you know, to be able to be out there and just catalyzing and creating a context for shared intimacy, really just deeper levels of intimacy that might take somebody 2 or 3 years to even have these kind of conversations.
Lifetime for some people.
Or a lifetime for some people. That's exactly right. So for me, the Love Game, it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing game, and I think people can play it for fun. They can do it as a date activity. But the results have just been fantastic. I mean, the coolest thing for me is as I'm shipping out, you know, the first decks, I'm thinking, man, there's going to be, you know, somebody joked and said, you're going to have a lot of like kids named Anthony David after their parents like the Love Game. But we're getting all kinds of emails from people saying that, you know, they became official boyfriend and girlfriend after playing the game for the first time, or they said, I love you for the first time. And that to me, there's the creative aspect, which is phenomenal. It just feels really great to just have something you made in the world just like be received. The impact, and just to know that you're a part of helping folks open their hearts to one another. That to me feels like that's the biggest win for me.
Tell you the truth, as I get older, I'm thinking, see, that I believe is the one muscle you can work on for the rest of your life. I mean, you're, what, 30 years old or something? I'm 70, and I can't run as fast as you. I never did, probably. But, you know, all those other muscles get, you know, atrophy. But I think your heart and your love, you could grow that sucker, you know, forever and keep going. And that's the one muscle you could do. And that's why, you know, why your work is so important to that. Nobody concentrates that unless, you know.
It's unfortunately, I think, in our society, it's often the most underutilized muscle. It's often the one that's the most underexercised, because I feel like we have a cultural context of sort of like molecular love. Like you have this experience and you're kind of there with someone, and it's, you know, there's this little free period of just like really good feeling, but then once, you know, the mechanism of love kicks in and people really, it's actually when they start to actually fall in love, that's when the craziness comes up. And there's just so much, I would just say, kind of bad advice about there's just so much kind of junk out there.
I believe.
And the idea of this, you know, this idea of kinetic love, which is the love of action, which is, you know, even when it's like the last thing you could possibly want to do in that moment, it's like finding it in yourself to push through that barrier just to get your heart back open. It can be the most challenging process in the world to do.
Oh, absolutely. It's hard.
It's the most.
I want to do it, and I fight it every day. And it was only till my 40s, 50s, 60s probably that I really realized that. And see, that's why what you're saying, I think, is true in our professional life. I mean, to have something bigger than yourself to live for. So in a love relationship or in a professional relationship, then all the other little bullshit is just bullshit, you know. That you have something bigger, loving, and something bigger you're working for. And that's why, see, love, I think, is, and I think that's the key about living life, isn't it? I mean, what could be better than that? And to give as much as you possibly can, personally. And that's what love is, isn't it? With that clipboard that we usually have. Oh, hey. And that's why this is a catalyst for all that. So, I mean, you're not going to get this in, you know, 50 ways to make $1 million, you know, when it really is.
Yeah. Well, and I do think that having, I mean, the connection between love and intimacy and what I would say actualized like success. You know, is I think that you know you may make a bunch of money out of a loving relationship if that's like what you're up to, but I think more importantly, it's the loving relationship can provide a context for you to really express that part of yourself.
Why do you want all the money? To show that love of, hey, you got the love now. What the hell do you need money for?
It's really tough to market stuff to people that are in love. I think that there's like, you know,
they don't need anything.
You're just, what do you need? Very basic stuff.
Well, this is wonderful. I'm so glad you're there, Anthony. Anthony David Adams. But more importantly, it's playthelovegame.com and get the card deck of these things, $25, and that's going to save you millions on therapists or whatever the hell else you need.
Oh, yeah.
But more to start the conversation. I mean, that's what to me is that what's so important. Somebody has to be the catalyst to start that between two people. So if you came into your relationship with this deck of cards, man, you're the savior. So why don't we all be out there and go be saviors and get a deck of cards and bring that to our relationship, right?
I love it. Yeah, we've got the deck of cards at playthelovegame.com, and there's also there's a free app. You can a free mobile app you can play there, and there's a book. If somebody wants to kind of do it in a book format, you can get access to the book there. And I've also got a lot of just free resources on winning the love game. So kind of wealth of knowledge and tools and things that folks can use to help themselves along that journey and share their story too. So
wonderful. So playthelovegame.com. Okay, Anthony David Adams, thank you so much for loving the rest of us, for giving us this. Take care.
Thank you so much.